Here we go. And it is Thursday, okay, the 10th of September. And yes, I'm still struggling with this hickering thing because I am a Christian and because a head covering is called for as a sign of the acknowledgement of authority, okay? And so I've tried, I've tried little handkerchiefs and I've tried turbans and I've tried, I have my hat, I'm trying to figure out what to do here. All right, but that is not survival oriented, maybe, I guess. All right, but what is survival oriented is one, we have to deal with the lockdown and the public health cautionary practices. And we have to deal with the pollution in the air because right now the air is dangerous out there. I live in San Joaquin Valley of California, and there are fires 35 miles in every direction. Okay, from here, I'm on the flat. Maybe because there's not enough trees here, we won't get burned out. I don't know. Okay. But a couple of things need to be attended to. And one is the pandemic's disinfo leaves us not knowing what to do. Okay. Now, one thing that I can do as a retired older person is self-isolate. Okay. And I do that in spades, I'll tell you. DoorDash, okay, delivers fast food, and Instacart delivers groceries. Okay. And so I have very little contact with people because me and my porphyria, I have to be very careful because the COVID virus will do me in real quick. I'm one of those in the risks categories. So I don't mix in companies or groups or meetings or conferences. I take my vitamins and supplements. And when I get like this, I'm ready for chewing up a clove of garlic. And I'll tell you, chewing up a clove of garlic and swinging it down with whatever you need to. Garlic is a marvelous antibiotic. And it cleans all of this stuff out of the lungs. It's really good with that. So is valerian root, but you got to be careful with valerian root that you give it something else to work on, like take valerian root with a meal. It's good for pushing everything through and clearing the circulation. It works very well for that. All right. But when you look outside and the sky is orange and the sun is red, there's a lot of stuff in the atmosphere to breathe. And so that's another reason to just not go out right now. Okay, and we can do that. But when we're subject to more than the usual amount of pollutants, what we can do is alter our diet and take on some detox routines. By altering the diet, I say eliminate every food that might contain the glyphosate that's made by Monsanto. Every food that could possibly contain glyphosate, and that's grains. Just take grains out of your diet. What that means is you are placing yourself on a paleo diet, on the diet of hunters and gatherers in the distant past who didn't know how to cultivate grains yet. All right. And so in that case, if you eliminate grains and soybeans and corn, whatever glyphosate touches, what it does, it dehydrates the stalk of the plant so the plant is easier to harvest, but it also dehydrates the body cells. And dehydrating the body cells causes the same symptoms as the COVID virus, causes the same symptoms as 5G, causes the same symptoms as other blood and pulmonary diseases do. So all of these diseases and problems are getting mixed together, okay, and they're being labeled as one thing, a virus. This is part of the disinfo we have to deal with, okay. So if you're on a paleo diet, you eat 3 to 6 ounces of flesh food a day. You can substitute 2 or 3 eggs, a couple ounces of cheese. If you're a woman, particularly an older woman, soy foods are good for older women. Soy foods are not good for boys or men. All right. You've heard the expression soy boys, and that's because there's too much female hormone in the soy products for men to withstand. All right. And of course, you've got to be careful about dairy, because dairy creates allergies, and allergies produce the same symptoms, okay, as the virus, as dehydration from other sources, namely 5G, glyphosate, COPD, okay? It's all working in the same domain, and that's why we have to be careful. Another good remedy for keeping the body processing is a form of garlic soup that I learned how to make from a babysitter 40 years ago. She was from Italy, and she made garlic soup, took 4 quarts of water and a whole bulb of garlic, okay, and chopped up the garlic and steeped the garlic in the 4 quarts of water with little salt, enough salt to taste. And then she would throw in Italian little pasta in the, it looks like rice, it's called riso. Throw in riso when it's all nice and steeped, and then stir in a scrambled egg to give it some body. And babies and small children love this, and it's wonderful for relieving the phlegm, okay, the phlegm and stuff that comes up in dehydration. I have found that plain old ordinary allergy and decongestants help a lot with the breathing problems we're getting with this bad air, but you can't be careful how you use them. They're over the counter available, okay? We do what is available to us. I've had very, very bad outcomes and effects of antibiotics. In fact, because I'm on Medicare, the antibiotics that the medical cartel prescribes for me are the bottom of the list, the cheapest rot that they can dish out, and that plays havoc on my intestines, on the intestinal flora. So you have to take biotics to get straightened out again. All right, that's what antibiotics can do that cause a lot of problems. Okay, you know, just pushing remedies doesn't really work. You got to try something a couple of times and feel how it feels. How did the bite feel? And if you feel better, okay. And if you don't feel better, don't do it again. That's how sensitive our bodies are. Another way to detox is actually from the Bible. It's called mikvah. Mikvah. And particularly for women and girls, it's very effective. And it's the bathtub. You take a bath in the bathtub. You fill the bathtub with nice, comfortable, warm water, and you throw a half a cup of baking soda in it, okay? And then you relax, okay? And you'll notice by the time you're ready to get out of the bathtub, after you've soaked off and rinsed off in the bathtub and you're ready to get out, you'll notice that the bathtub turns a grungy gray or green or something. Bathtub water gets terrible. And that's your skin learning how to excrete through your skin. All right. And that can really do you a lot of good. Of course, some cultures have their sauna. The Swedes have their sauna. The Native Americans have their sweat lodge. Okay. And a lot of ritzy health places have a sauna or sweat lodge, but just a plain old 5-foot bathtub with warm water and half a cup of baking soda does wonders to get rid of a lot of toxins once your body learns that that's what you want it to do. It took me a while of taking those baths regularly to train my skin cells to say, oh, it's time to poop. This time to get rid of a lot of, okay. So the bathtub is a lot more, this just keeps falling off and falling off. It drives me crazy. The bathtub is an essential part of a woman's beauty routine because there is no douche or medicated stuff that will substitute for sitting down in the water for a while. Okay? All right, see what I'm saying? We have to detox every way we can. We have to increase our circulation every way we can. If you see ads for supplements that help increase circulation, try them out. See if you feel better. Now, I'm not athletic because of the congenital porphyria. I don't have any real, what do you call it? Resilience, okay, because my blood doesn't carry oxygen well. But I'm doing okay. And you can do okay too in these times when it's hard to know what to do. So, considering that the virus, dehydration from the polluted food, polluted air, and 5G, and all kinds of congestive problems all have the same symptoms, okay, then we have to be careful. And that's the form of vigilance that will get us through this, is by being careful and vigilant and noticing what works and what doesn't work, okay? Get all the grain products, particularly if they're packaged and mainline brands, get them out of the house. I don't care if your kids like them. They're not good because they dehydrate the body cells and help bring on colds, flu, and all of that other stuff. So, you know, Jordan Peterson has put himself on a paleo diet also, all right, because the grains that are raised and fumigated by big pharma, there's big pharma and there's big farmer, okay, are not good for the body, even though they're convenient for the big agro combines to harvest. Okay, we don't do things for the convenience of big farmer and big pharma. We do things for the convenience of our biological cells. We take care of ourselves in this atmosphere, this carnival atmosphere of who's on first and what's on second, and I don't know, is on third base. And it's going to get worse because the Democratic Party has decided on a strategy and a tactic and a process and a method of destroying the validity of this election with mail-in balloting that makes it impossible to do the count. And yes, the president has a remedy for that, in that from the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, he can declare states that are seditious as no part of the Electoral College. Okay, he can do that. But in the meantime, the seditious behavior of the left is coming at us from all kinds of directions. So we have to be vigilant and watch. We are watchers now. We are watchers. And for those of us who have families, we are watchers for the lives of our children. And for those of my subscribers who are here in California with me, there's no place to run because the cities are in shambles. No thanks to the governor's policies of utilizing all of his available funds to comfort the illegal immigrants and withholding maintenance from the Oroville Dam. By the way, yesterday, Oroville experienced some kind of explosion, and the effects have not borne out yet, but the Oroville area had an explosion. So we're watching to see how that is going to affect things coming up in the future. We have to be watchers. So let's watch and stay in touch. And I'm going to put this particular video up on Patreon for the friends there who want to pay attention to health and spirit. I also have some new moon photos to show there. So we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.